First, the class is divided into teams with no more than 6 players in each team. Note that each team's players sit one behind another. Next, each team is assigned a number. For example, this is Team 1, Team 2, Team 3, and Team 4. Now, the first player in each team is given a piece of paper. This player writes the team number at the top of the page. Then, he or she writes the names of everyone in the team in the order that they are sitting in. The teacher starts the game. Up to 6 notes appear on the slide. Let us call each note by the first letter in its name: W for a whole note, H for a half note, Q for a quarter note, etc. The first player in each team writes the letter for the first note on the page across from her name. As soon as she is done, she passes the page to the player behind her. The second player in each team writes the letter for the second note on the page across from his name. Then, he or she passes the page to the player sitting behind him. This is continued until there are 6 letters on the page. The last player to write a letter in each team passes the page to the player in front of him or her, and so on until the page reaches the first player. Now the first player takes his team answer page and comes to line up at the front of the class. The players at the front of the class line up in the order they finished. After each team has a player at the front of the class, the teacher clicks on each note to display the right answer. The players in front of the class check their team answers and circle any wrong answers. Next, the game will allocate points to each team. The score consists of 2 components: knowledge and speed. The knowledge score for each team is the number of answers they got correct. The speed bonus applies only to a team who got all of their answers correct, and is the number of teams that they beat. These points will be added to each student's total score and used to calculate student marks. Once a student has accumulated enough points, he or she will be eligible to redeem a reward. The generated student marks can also be used in report cards. Now the players in line return to their seats, and the teams are now ready for the next round. The teacher starts the next round with a new set of notes. You can play this game for several rounds. If there are less players on a team than there are notes on the screen, the last player passes the page to the player in front of him/her, and so on until the page reaches the first player. The first player writes the letter for the remaining note, and then brings the page to the front. Here are a few quick and useful tips to keep in mind when playing this game. Corrections should not be made on the answer page. Students should not talk during the game. When the entire game is over, the teacher can collect the team's answer sheets and use them to create a paper trail of student work.